Broadcasting to you on WNN 1470 AM and TrentoVision.tv from the world's leading think tank laboratory, buried deep in an undisclosed building in hostile territory where evil and corruption is exposed. You're about to enter the Tom Trento Show.
Airborne, all hands back at battle station.
Tom Trento heads United West, a group that says it defends Western civilization against the onslaught of Islam.
I'm still getting used to our unique and somewhat interesting opening there. A little bit of excitement, I guess, and
yes, it is.
Bombs and bullets and all kinds of things. I'm a peaceful guy.
Make me feel right at home.
I'm a peaceful guy. You know, I mean, you look, peace, the religion of peace. That's us. But good morning. Another Maniac Monday to bookend our Jumpin' Juma Freaky Friday. What a week. What a week last week. We had some amazing guests on. As we do this week, we got a special guest for you in just a couple of minutes. Good friend of ours, an Egyptian. We need the Egyptian music.
Walk like an Egyptian.
Walk like an Egyptian. I'm sure Usama walks like an Egyptian because he is an Egyptian. He was born in Egypt, raised in a Christian family, and he's a Christian minister, but an Egyptian. So he has a unique perspective of being an Egyptian, but being raised as a minority in Egypt, left Egypt about 20 years ago or so, came to the United States, and started a ministry here to the Islamic world. Usama Dakdok. He'll be with us in just a few moments. And this is our, I'm saying this is our special on Egypt, but I'm going to have to change that special part. This is just the continuing coverage.
Continuing saga.
Yeah, the continuing saga, our continuing coverage of the crisis in Egypt. And it's very important, folks, that you understand, all of our viewers, listeners, all of you just tuning in. You may be in Florida on your vacation. People do come to Florida in the summer on their vacations. And you may be driving in your automobile anywhere from Miami to Orlando, almost to the center of the state. If you're on 1470 on the AM side of the dial, 1470, you're listening to us. WNN 1470, that's our flagship station. We're growing all over the place, and we simulcast. That means while we're on the radio, we're also on the internet television under TrentoVision.tv. My name is Tom Trento, your host. And we have the crew here. We have Imam Abdullah. Imam, how was your weekend?
Fantastic.
A little bit of Jumpin' Juma on Friday.
Oh, absolutely.
What do you do on Saturday when the Jews are in the synagogue?
We're still a little excited from our Friday Juma this weekend. I was stuck in front of TV. It was nothing but news.
It was.
It is crazy what is going on, which is coup, absolute coup.
Well,
in Egypt.
We Christians go on Sunday. So you're on Friday, you're Jumpin' Juma. Jewish people on Saturday. What about us going to church? What are your thoughts about that? We're people that booked.
Yes, we're all part of the Abrahamic religions. Of course, all of us Muslim, at least to begin with, Kufar. And eventually, you will either revert or boil in hell. It is your choice.
Either one, okay. My skin boil off. That's if Islam is true. And we have an individual.
What was this if?
We have an individual that I want you to talk to when he comes up in a little bit. Usama Dakdok.
Yes.
Okay, he's an Egyptian. You're a Pakistani Taliban. He's an Egyptian Christian. And
Egyptian Christian.
He's an Egyptian
This
Christian.
is second one in 2 days you have. What is
right.
this?
We're stacking a deck here, Abdullah. We're
Yes, you have the
stacking the
Cynthia
deck.
Farahat and now this Osama.
That's right. We have
Where are your
Farahat.
Egyptian Muslims?
She's a Coptic Christian. But Usama, I don't believe
No, he's not
a
Coptic.
No.
No, he's not Coptic.
All right, well, here you are at TrentoVision. We are the communications arm of theunitedwest.org, our counterterrorism organization. And for many years, folks, we've been yelling, Muslim Brotherhood, Muslim Brotherhood, Muslim Brotherhood. What do you think, Mark? Is it catching on? Is it sinking
Well,
in?
finally, what I have noticed is since you've been having this big megaphone for the last, 5, 6, 7 years, is nobody ever heard of the Muslim Brotherhood. It was a fake group. It was some conspiracy theory. And over the last 2 or 3 years, it actually does exist. And then when we said it was actually taking over the government in Egypt, everybody says, "Oh no, you're crazy.
We
You're
take
crazy.
over your government too."
Yeah, you're crazy." And now all the mainstream media is saying, "Oh yeah, the Muslim Brotherhood did take over Egypt. It was a planned attack, and they were bad people." Okay, we're at least making some headway.
Making some headway.
Not as much headway on the Muslim Brotherhood in the United States, but it's getting there. People understand that CARE is a bad organization, and a lot of these other Islamic front groups are bad organizations. But it's just
A little bit.
One thing
Why
at
are
a
you
time.
shaking your head, Abdullah?
I do not like what some of your big brain men say. I do not like this.
Well, part of our show today, after we talk to Usama Dakdok, is going to be on the Muslim Brotherhood's infiltration into the United States, in fact, into the White House. But I think right now it's 6 minutes after 5 o'clock on Monday, July 8th. And earlier this morning, folks, look, there's going to be a civil war in Egypt. It certainly looks like that.
Yes.
And this morning, the Brotherhood folks were having a sit-in at the Revolutionary Guard Palace, where supposedly the former president of Egypt is being held in house arrest, Mohammed Morsi, educated right here in the United States of America. And as the Brotherhood proponents say, the military, the Egyptian army, started firing on them, killed dozens, 30, 40, 50, at least 30 or 40 right now.
Right.
Hundreds, if not 1,000 injured. Reports are scattered. We're going to have in a little bit a live stream of some of the action. So now, this is all well and good, and if you're going about your business, if you're a regular listener to TrentoVision, follower of the United West, you know this is serious juju. You know this affects you at home. It affects our national security partner, Israel. It affects the West. But if you're just kind of new to this or you're just tuning in, you're going, so what? Muslims killing Muslims. What else is new? It's Egypt. Yeah, crazy place anyway. Well, our goal here is to elucidate these issues and to show how they impact you personally and your family personally, so that you can be moved to some sort of activism in a coordinated effort here with us to stop the insanity, shut down the Muslim Brotherhood, and save America, save Israel. But
we just show you how things over there actually do matter to your everyday life, and actually why you should be concerned, why you should be alarmed, and what you should do about it, and it's actually more important to you than the trial down in Sanford. I mean, it will affect you more.
The Zimmerman trial you're referring to? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's really,
right. But as far as affecting your life on a daily basis,
and who you have to vote for in 484 days. 484 days from today, November 4th.
And we will connect the dots for you and show you how what happens over there directly affects what happens over here.
Oh, I tell you what, Mark and Abdullah, can you think? We said this a couple of months ago. We must be prophetic. We really must be prophetic.
Very smart men.
I feel a cigarette.
Is that a
I
crystal
feel a
ball?
cigarette coming. What is this doing here? I don't even smoke cigarettes.
That could be for your co-host.
Oh,
Is it an exploding cigarette?
it's a fake one. I think it's one of those fake ones.
Yes.
No
yes.
cigarettes.
No
on
cigarettes.
my
But
table
is
here.
that a crystal ball in front of you there, Tom?
This is a crystal ball. Yeah. See,
See, it's
it is. It's my crystal ball.
yeah.
This Muslim country's at war. Oh, it is. This Muslim country. Oh, it is. Oh, this Muslim country. No. What I was saying was, we said a couple of months ago, we said if there ever was a time to travel to Israel with myself and Frank Gaffney and Bill Federer and Bill Murray and all of them, September, October is a perfect time.
Yes.
Because who knows what's going to be happening in Egypt at that point. But you will be. Folks, we have just a couple of days left to close out our trip to Israel. If you're interested in getting on board, it's about $2,600. If you're interested, it's 10 days in Israel. We leave September 30th, 2013, come back 9th or 10th. There is a little extension if you're interested in that. But you're going to be with myself. I know a little bit about this stuff. I was in Israel last year. Frank Gaffney, expert national security. Bill Murray, Christian expert. Ron Wexler is leading the trip. Been doing it for 30 years. He's taken 100,000 people back and forth on trips to Israel. He's been on our show many times. HeritageStudyPrograms.com. But drop me a note, Tom@TrentoVision.tv. If you really want to come, we got a few openings, few days left. And what an exciting time to be in that part of the world. And let me tell you,
this will be a fantastic trip. It really will.
Over this weekend, there were, I think, 12 deaths and 50 injuries in Cairo, was it? No. Starts with a C. In Chicago. Chicago, that's right. Over the weekend, folks. Today's July 8th, 2013, 12 minutes past 5 p.m. on the East Coast. Over this weekend in Chicago, there were 12 murders and 50-something people injured in gang and street thug violence in President Obama's jewel of a
backyard.
City. Chicago, no less.
Where you can't have guns.
Where you can't have guns, indeed. So Israel is the safest place on the face of the earth. Don't be worried.
Can I tell you about Chicago? There is only one way to stop the violence in the streets. That is, you put the Nation of Islam in charge of the security. You put Louis Farrakhan as the king of the city. That is it. No more violence.
You know what? That has been suggested, and I think that is being tried on some levels over there. We have a visitor. We have a visitor with us. I haven't introduced our visitor yet, but I will in a second.
We will.
Let's go to Usama.
That's right.
And then we'll do a little bit of
homework. Welcome, Usama Dakdok.
Usama Dakdok, where is he?
Right
there he is, Usama. Hello. Tom Trento here. It's been a couple of years, maybe a year or so since I have seen you, and we're getting some directions from our guys. But I did see a video, Usama. You and I think Mark and Alan, you went to a lovely Muslim-led and goofy Christian-led interfaith dialogue meeting. That's right. Where was that? UCF or something?
Orlando.
That was in Orlando. Wait, we need your audio. Hang on.
Hold on.
We're getting your audio. Okay, now we can hear you. Say that over again, Usama.
I said that this meeting was an interfaith meeting in Orlando, Florida.
Interfaith meeting in Orlando, Florida.
And it's amazing, Brother Tom. These meetings are so loving, so peaceful, that they are afraid so badly to have a camera in them, because these are like top secret meetings. They love America. We have, the coexist, but we do not want to coexist with the rest of the American people. Therefore, we're going to coexist in one room, but not by the camera. Just keep it secret.
Well, we have the video of that. Alan and Mark took the video. It's fabulous video. We will put that out again because everybody needs to see that. And simply what happened, and all of this is related, folks. Usama and a couple of our guys, Mark and Alan, went to a bogus interfaith meeting. It's really dawah by the Islamic community to kind of win converts.
Definitely.
And Usama and Mark and Alan started asking a couple of questions, and they had cameras there, and the 20 people or so were freaking out. We don't want to be on camera. And the whole thing went into an ideological melee, which was great. Absolutely. Good job, Usama. But our subject, are you ready? say hello
Was
to
the talent ready?
CJ. Yes, CJ's here.
The talent is ready.
Yeah,
there
I'm
you
talent
go.
today.
I have to lower my seat. Look at. I'm on the other seat. Look at me.
I know, you're way higher than I am.
There we go. There we go. I'll do that for you. How's that?
Good morning,
Oh, now you
everybody.
just
But we're
messed up
getting
my
our seats
screenshot.
back now that we have this thing.
Oh yeah,
Are
oh
we?
yeah, yeah.
Comfy
I love
seats
this.
back.
Yes.
Get our
Tom
comfy
hates
seats
it,
back.
so.
I'm not too wild about it.
How do
and
we
we're-
look color-wise?
Great.
Well, that
Color is
works.
good?
Yeah, that works. Because the green screen's tricky. Little in-house stuff, folks. No problem. Egypt's in crisis.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
worry about it.
We'll talk about the Zimmerman trial here in a
Yeah,
minute.
yeah, yeah. Now we have Usama Dakdok with us.
I haven't
and,
seen Osama in years.
in
I don't even know if
years?
he remembers
Yeah.
me.
I remember you.
You
Yes,
do?
indeed.
I think
We
we
met
met in
actually in
Tallahassee.
Tallahassee, Florida, 7 years ago, 8 years ago. That's
Something like
was
that,
quite some
yeah.
time, maybe. I don't know. I can't remember.
He has
Yeah,
good memory.
wow.
Wasn't that long, but he remembers.
It wasn't that long. It was a long
Maybe
time
maybe
ago.
5.
I
Just 5
actually,
years.
you know what? That's how the brain works. When he said that,
Mm-hmm.
I remember where we were sitting in front of that restaurant out on the street, and we all start talking
That's
there and
right,
everything.
yeah.
That was,
That's right.
With
that was
Rich
right.
Swire.
Yeah, Rich Swire was there.
Yeah.
That's right.
Absolutely. Yes,
So,
indeed.
so what's with this symbol of hate over his shoulder? You know, this
Yeah.
Oh!
Look out.
Yeah, what is that? What do you have, a gigantic cross in your house?
It's love. It's love. God loved me
Okay.
that He sent His Son to die on that cross for me. I'm a sinful man. That's what it is.
Well, a young lady in California last week, we're trying to get her on the show, actually. She was at a little school where she was working, I think a junior college, and she had a cross on. And they actually told her to take that off. It was offending prospective students that she was wearing a cross.
Evil
And
person.
it's becoming
Just
a
an
lawsuit,
evil person.
obviously. But in any event, Usama, take 30 seconds. Tell the folks about yourself, your background, and then we want to get, I know we only have you for a short time here, but we want to get your analysis of what's going on July 8, Monday, 2013 at 5:17 in the afternoon on the East Coast. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I am an Egyptian. We call ourselves in Egypt Coptic. We are the original people of the land. And a lot of people think Coptic mean Orthodox or Catholic or Presbyterian or whatever. No, I'm a Baptist, but I grew up in Egypt. And all Christian Egypt call themselves Coptic. We're not Arab, we're not Muslim, we're Coptic. Grew up in a Christian home. My daddy was one of those who founded the Southern Baptist Church in Egypt. I grew up in a Muslim school. I learned about Islam all my life. I know the Quran very well. Studied Sharia, Islamic law in college in Egypt for 2 years. And then I came to America, surprise. I found there are Muslim in America, and I found out why the Lord has prepared me to learn about Islam all these years and years of study. And that's why I started the Straight Way of Grace Ministry. It's a Muslim evangelical ministry where we travel all over America to teach the truth about Islam. We have wrote 3 books. The first one is the only true, accurate English translation of the Quran, which is named the Generous Quran. The real name, by the way, Quran Kareem in Arabic means the Generous Quran. We sent that
Wait. I didn't get that. The what Quran?
The Quran in Arabic is called Al-Quran Al-Kareem, which in English, the Generous Quran. With all the English translations they made for the Quran, not one author ever put the real name of the Quran. They call it Holy Quran or Glorious Quran or just the Quran, but the real name is the Generous Quran. And then we actually send a copy, and that's very important. I want people to know about that. We send a copy to every senator, to every congressman, woman, to all our governors in the United States. We send a copy also to the High Supreme Justice Court. So, if your people who are watching this or listening to this podcast can do their grandchildren a favor by simply calling your senator, call your congressman, call your governor, ask them, have you read the Generous Quran, which has been sent to you by the Straight Way of Grace Ministry? If they said they did not have a copy, we'll be very happy to send them a new copy. Another important book we did, Tommy, is the Exposing the Truth About the Quran, 2-volume, 830 pages. And this book, in this book, we made the Quran naked. Because in this book, we show all the error and all the contradiction, which is all over the pages of the Quran. This is the Straight Way of Grace Ministry. We travel all over the country. Right now we're in Ohio, and we were in North Carolina, we're in Tennessee, and next week we're going to be in whatever.
Osama, how could somebody, if they want to contact you, because we're on the radio and people come in and out. So before somebody leaves, what's the best way to get you?
Sure. If you go online, thestraightway.org, thestraightway.org. And by the way, our phone number is there, and everything you need to know about us is there.
Thestraightway.org. Thestraightway.org. Okay, I know you. I may have a copy of and
that's right. I think you do.
The Generous Quran, right?
Right.
The Generous Quran. Interesting.
It's interesting.
Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I do. It's a fantastic book.
I want to take a look at that. Right now, and we may be experiencing earthquakes here in South Florida, so if the earth starts shaking, it's no big deal.
It's just Mark. It's just me.
Particularly the earth
the
behind me.
show is so good that Earth moves for us.
Yes. Egypt, as you know, do you still have family there, Osama?
Absolutely. I have a lot of family and friends all over the country, from Alexandria and Port Said to Aswan, the whole entire country.
All right, well, here's the situation. The United West, we have been following the Egyptian crisis for several years now. And before it was a crisis back in early 2011, Egypt was a significant player in the Middle East, particularly as it relates to Israel. We do a lot of work on Israel.
Sure.
So we're not unfamiliar with the elements and characteristics and complexities of Egypt. But right now, we seem to have two opinions from folks that are on the same side. One opinion is that there is indeed a vibrant and significant liberal Democrat, and by that we mean that if one of those people who viewed themselves as a liberal Democrat in Egypt were to come to the United States, they would at least be comfortable in the Democrat Party. That there's a significant and vibrant movement in Egypt, and there's 85 million people, that millions upon millions upon millions, 10, 20, 30 million are liberal Democrats. That's one view. The other view, and that view is our friend Cynthia Farahat, who's a Coptic Christian, does a lot of work on this. The other view is Andy Bostom, our friend, and these are both counter-jihad people, all of that. Andy's saying, no. The data from Pew polling, the data from all the studies is that there's a very insignificant number of people who can be considered liberal Democrats, but there's a large number of people that want the Sharia, but they also want the state to pay for
everything.
For everything.
Yeah.
82% it wants Sharia.
Yeah, and Morsi came on, and he moved very, very quickly, and they didn't get bread, they didn't get gas, they didn't get all this. They were getting Sharia, but they weren't getting common goods.
Yeah.
Help us understand the dynamics of Egypt right now.
Well, first of all, I do not believe in any study will take place in Egypt. Egypt is not America. I mean, even here in America, if you're going to do a study and you go to the street and you meet with 10,000 people and you do a study, your result will not be accurate because not every city in America has the same style of education or doctrine or belief. In Egypt, I can say half of the Egyptians do not know where they live. I can say if you ask them
don't know where they live,
they can't point it out.
I'm not kidding you. If you think America is bad,
yeah, but
people
that goes
do
for
not know
here
who's the
too.
vice president.
Yeah.
In Egypt, it's worse. It's a lot worse. So when people go to Cairo and do a study in one place in Cairo or Alexandria where there is some education, I can take you to another place in Egypt where people cannot read Arabic. So
Right.
I don't know how you can come up with this study and this number. But here is the reality. The Egyptian people, when they had the true revolution 2 years ago or so, they were truly looking for a change in Egypt. But the only organized group in Egypt, the only one who have the money, the only one who have the power, and those who took advantage of the poor Egyptian who literally lost their blood, they shed the blood in the streets of Tahrir, Cairo, everywhere else, the Brotherhood is the only organized group. And I'm so afraid, Brother Tom, that what happened a year ago when Mohammed Morsi won will happen again. because the Egyptian people are like sheep. I mean, all people on earth, Christ, in the Bible, see, Christ or the Bible describes people to be sheep. We are not very smart and natural. That's how we are made. But the Egyptians are even worse sheep, because they did everything to get rid of Mubarak. And the end was the Brotherhood. How in the world you die and you shed your blood to give yourself to the hand of those who literally want to kill you and your president, Mubarak? And that's what could happen again in Egypt. Egyptian people are very naive. Egyptian people, they just go to the mosque, and the imam said, let's go burn the church across the street down there. And people get out of the church, the mosque, and they burn the church. And if you ask him, why did he burn the church? They say, I don't know.
Because
the
there
imam
was
told
no
us
synagogue to burn.
So they just do whatever they
We're out of synagogues, so we're going to burn the church.
All the Jews are gone. We got to go after
All synagogues, of course, you know,
now.
that's how the Egyptians are. And by the way, the Brotherhood may win again if the Egyptians rush to another election. So my prayer that the Egyptian people will calm down, take a deep breath, drink some coffee, relax, pray. I don't want 15 or 20 more people to run against the new guy who's going to run for the Brotherhood if we did not go to civil war. Because up to this half hour ago, I'm talking to some of my friends, some of our people in Egypt, it's very bad. The army now shooting the Brotherhood, and the Brotherhood are not stepping down. They don't want Mohammed Morsi to quit. They actually believe he's still the president. And if this goes their way, there will be a lot of killing. And if you think the 90,000 people were killed in Syria in 2 years is a large number, that's a drop in a bucket. You can have these 90,000 in less than an hour in Cairo alone. Wow. And Egypt is big. You're talking about 92 million people live in Egypt. And here's another thing. You say 80, I heard you say 85 a minute ago. No, you cannot count the Egyptians. There's a lot of people who will not even go register their children when they're born, because they're afraid that somebody gives them the eye. You know what gives them the eye?
The evil
Their kids
eye.
are going to get sick and they're going to die if they register their name. That's how so many of the people in Egypt, in the farm, they believe, well, they have a baby and the baby is a girl. That's no problem. They can announce it to the neighborhood. But if they have a baby boy, they will keep it in secret. Why is it good? Because they don't want their baby boy to get sick. In case somebody envies him, oh, she have another boy? Man, she have 5 boys already. Yeah, but she have 8 girls. Well, but another boy? And then the boy will get sick and then he will die. So they keep it secret. So you don't even know how to count how many people in Egypt. That's how bad it is.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. You got a little time to stay with us, Usama?
I would love to talk about Obama and the Brotherhood in Egypt. This is very important. I'd love to talk to you more.
Let's do this. Everybody here has questions for you. We have Imam Abdullah, I fool you, you fool, who's our resident Taliban Muslim. Say hello to Usama.
Hello, Osama. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Salam alaikum, Imam.
Assalamu alaikum, my brother.
Okay.
Like a real Muslim American. They do not know even how to say Assalamu alaikum. They do not know what is to pray, but they're all good Muslims.
But I still like to bang my head 5 times a day.
They don't know how to say it, but they're all good Muslims. That's
right.
good. Well, what I want to do right now is show that short video, the Muslim Brotherhood, basically saying we are the new Taliban, the new Al Qaeda, and then we'll open it up for questions.
He could actually translate this for us, but I mean they actually got the translation at the bottom of the screen. But Osama actually can.
Well, he understands Arabic. Yeah,
I will check. I'll make sure it is a true and accurate translation.
I'm going to read it. We're going to play the video, and I'll read the captions. So
and if you cannot see, I will tell you that this man has a Hall of Fame Zubaydah bump.
Okay, well, why don't you read it, Abdullah? You read it. Just lower the volume a little bit. So we're going to let the television audience see it. It's in Arabic, but we're going to read the captions to you. That's what's important. So as you're looking at this and as you're driving in your cars, this is a Sharia-compliant Muslim who looks like the worst of the worst, basically doing an interview a couple of days ago saying what you're going to hear right now. And here we go.
I want to say to you, Al-Sisi, beware. Know that you have created a new Taliban and a new Al-Qaeda in Egypt. all this crowd will split into martyrdom, suicide bombing groups. They will destroy you and destroy Egypt. You destroyed Egypt. You just made a new mujahideen, martyrdom bombers. Know that if 1 out of 10 of these people blew himself up in a group of people, then you are the reason. You have created terrorism. You have started it. I warn you. Bring matters to where they were, or else you will see all these masses blowing up Egypt. You are the one creating civil strife between Muslims and non-Muslims. You are the one creating civil strife between Muslims and secularists. You are the one creating civil strife between Muslims and Shiites. You are the one who exploded and wrote the death certificate of the Gabat al-Inqaz and their men. You are the one who wrote the death certificate of all the members of Tamarad. You are the one who wrote the death certificate of anyone who opposed President Morsi and opposed the legitimacy of the ballot box. I want to tell Abdul Fattah al-Sisi, who brought you? Who brought you? Your dog who brought you?
That's a lady in a total burqa.
Morsi is the one who brought you. I am neither part. I am a religious Egyptian lady. I tell the Christians one word. You live by our side, we will set you on fire. We will set you on fire.
We will set you on fire. That was, you didn't see that, I don't think, Usama. It was a Christian.
No, I heard what she said in Arabic. She's talking to Nasara. She's talking to the Christian. They will set the Christian on the fire. And believe it or not, they just burned another 47 homes and different churches in Egypt last night. They kill a priest, they behead a priest, and they are doing a good job to terrorize the Christian. And they are revenging not from their own Muslim family, but from us Christian. And by the way, I have to correct this, Brother Tom. Nobody is bringing terror to the Muslim or to Egyptian, but Allah Himself, as it is written in the Quran. Listen to what Allah said in Quran chapter 33 and verse 26 and 27. And He, that is Allah, brought down the people of the book, that is the Jews and the Christian, who backed them from their strong places, and listen carefully, Allah cast terror into their hearts. A group of them you are killing, and a group of them you are taking captive. And He made you, the good Muslims, to inherit their land and their homes and their money. Listen, America, listen carefully, because your Obama is bringing this to us here in America. For the rest of the verse, Quran chapter 33 and verse 27. And a land which you had never set foot on. Now I believe this land is America. For Obama and all those who bring Muslim to America, this is the land which they never set a foot on 100 years ago. And Allah was mighty over all things. So the terrorization, Brother Tom, did not come from Sisi or from any of the Egyptians who are looking for freedom and democracy. Terrorization began by Allah Himself, who cast terror into the heart of the Jews and the Christians. And Islam is the source of tyranny. Tyranny is not September 11. Tyranny is not Osama bin Laden. Tyranny is none of these Muslims who are living today. Tyranny is Allah, the source of tyranny, and Muhammad. You don't believe me? Read my translation of the Quran, and you see that terrorization is all over the Quran.
Yeah, you're critiquing Usama Dakdok, who's a Coptic Christian born in Egypt, and moved to the United States about 20 years ago as a Christian minister. He's critiquing the doctrine of Islam as articulated in the Quran and saying that Allah is the source of all of this, which kind of begs the question of the religion of peace. But CJ, you have a question for Usama. What is it?
I do. It seems Usama has been talking about the uneducated masses. But let me ask you this. It seems that the uneducated masses, for as long as modern history has been happening, seem to go for totalitarianism in the form of supporting the army, or totalitarianism in the form of supporting Sharia, or a combination thereof. The educated ones, for the most part, are doing the same thing. So what's the difference between an uneducated Egyptian who wants Sharia and control of the army, or an educated Egyptian who wants Sharia with control of the army as well? What's the difference?
Well,
who's in the middle? There's a few Facebook strays There's
Well,
a few
but-
dissidents like Cynthia Farahat, like you. Mostly they're Coptic Christians. They're not Muslim Egyptians. So where are these freedom-loving people coming from? It's outside of the Egyptian experience.
Well, that's a fact, my dear sister, and I'm sorry to say that, but most Egyptians who wanted Muslim Brotherhood to take over Egypt in 1 year, I'm not talking about in 10 years or 100 years, in 1 year, they do not want that. So if you think about those who voted for Mohammed Morsi, now they change their mind because they realize the reality of what Islam is all about. I mean, these Muslim Brotherhood have put so much fatawi, which is the plural of fatwa, decrees on us. Literally, it shocks a Muslim, not just a Christian. We have been praying and crying out to God, help us. These people are going to destroy us. They're going to burn our churches. They're going to destroy our life and our homes and our businesses. So we pray to God, and God answers this prayer. But even the Muslim, can you imagine, the Muslim Egyptian realize what Mohammed Morsi and the Brotherhood are doing to Egypt. But sadly, the American liberal, the lovers of Obama and the liberal agenda, have not seen it yet. Have you seen the riots in Egypt? Have you seen once they have this huge picture of Barack Hussein Obama, and next to it, in English, they're saying, Obama supports the terrorists of September 11th. You know what the American people need to know? That jihadists who killed the 3,000 of our people on September 11th are Mohammed Morsi's people. That's what they are. And sadly, from day one, Obama removed Mubarak to replace him with Mohammed Morsi. And Obama supported Mohammed Morsi. And Obama aided Egypt. And I love Egypt to be aided. I'm Egyptian, for heaven's sake. But I don't want aid to Egypt to come in form of F-16 and F-18 and tanks and worship. We do not worship. We do not need F-16 to go to school. I want aid to Egypt in a form of education, food, medicine. I mean, help us, not help us to literally what Obama is doing, my dear sister, my dear brother, everyone who's listening right now. He is preparing Egypt militarily to go on war against Israel. And this will bring no good, not to the Egyptian, not to America. Because the moment we support anyone to curse God's chosen people, the Jews, that is the moment we're seeking God's curse on us here in America. The scripture is very clear. I'm a Christian man who loves the Jew because they're God's chosen people. And the Bible said, I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse those who curse you. We're about to see a curse in America because of Obama and his work and his role among all the countries around Israel. If it is Libya, if it is Egypt, if it is Syria, if it is Jordan coming up next, it is chaos. It's chaos. It's so the Egyptians, figure out, the Muslim Egyptian figure out who is Mohammed Morsi.
Hey, Usama.
Who is Obama.
We got a 1 hour show. So.
Yeah, let me follow up. Yeah. Let me follow this. I want to follow this up with you. The people who deposed Mubarak and put in Morsi, do you think that they would have deposed Morsi if there was more bread going around, literally? If the people weren't going hungry under this Sharia rule, which they want, do you think they would have kept the status quo? And then also, let's point out when we talk about Obama and the White House and the State Department and Hillary Clinton and everybody else, that we have Republicans like John McCain who are just as clueless about the Muslim Brotherhood and totalitarianism Sharia.
John McCain, God bless him, he's a very naive man. He's so ignorant about Syria. He's so ignorant about Egypt. I don't know how to. I wish I can meet with him and talk with him 15 minutes. I can fix his head up. But the reality is, you cannot have bread on the table when the Brotherhood are in charge. They may feed the people for a month or two to make them riot and go against Mubarak. But believe it or not, after this, you're going to have poverty in Egypt. And the proof is very simple. Saudi Arabia is one of the richest countries in the world. They have Sharia there. They have Islamic law there. Do you know how many people, Saudi people, they reach out with their hand like this, begging for money. I don't know if you can see my hand. Begging for money from the poor Muslims who go do the Hajj every year. There are plenty of poor Saudi who have no food in their table. Why do you expect Egyptian will have food when the Brotherhood take over Egypt? These Brotherhood are destroying Egypt. Literally, they're destroying the world. They do not want peace. They don't want people to have meal on their food, on their table. They want destruction. And that is what the agenda.
You bring up a very good point. You very good point, Usama, is that what people do not realize is under these regimes, they are total welfare states. Saudi Arabia is a complete welfare state, and the reason they give them welfare money is to keep them from turning into jihadists. It's a payoff. And that's what the Muslim Brotherhood was attempting to do in Egypt, but there's one problem. They don't have an oil well to dump the money into the people's hands.
And what we have is destroying. We have the only income in Egypt is through tourism. And people come visit Egypt and they see the pyramids and they go to the tombs and they visit all the old Egyptian history. Now the Brotherhood coming up with new fatwa. They want to remove the pyramids. They want to get rid of all the statue because these idols, these are gods used to be worshipped. So they want to destroy the only income we have in Egypt, and they did a good job the last year.
All right, we only have a couple of minutes left with Usama. So
I just wanted to bring up one other quick point on this. Was all this billions of dollars of aid that we're sending over the $1.5 billion in aid?
It's a lot of scratch, man.
It wasn't going to Mubarak. Mubarak was not getting the majority of that. Who got the majority of that was the military, and they just suck it away. And they actually have what is called a black box, not like Al Gore's lockbox, but a real black box that the government cannot touch whatsoever. So that's the reason the military was in power. The money that we were sending over to Egypt was going right into the military hands, and Mubarak was getting none of that.
And by the way, that was per the peace agreement, the Camp David Accords with Israel.
Whereas all of the Palestinian money went right into Arafat's bank account.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
But
let's ask this. If we cut off military aid, which I don't think they need any more military aid, what kind of domestic aid should we give? Food, humanitarian
Why do we need
support,
to give anything?
Medicine.
Because they're going to starve to death.
First of all, millions of people are probably going to starve to death, like they're doing in the Sudan or Chad or anywhere else.
Okay,
and
that will drive you to another form of government.
Do you want the country of Egypt to be a 100% client state of a dictatorship like, I don't know, Russia or Iran or Saudi Arabia?
Right.
I would rather them be...
Isn't that a bigger threat to international and U.S. interests than anything else?
Here is a quick answer, my dear sister. We're supposed to aid Egypt, but we do not just throw money on them. We have to give them money with ties to it. And the ties is, these people who have 50 children because they have 10 wives, we need to cut it to just limited families. And we're supposed to help them with necessity need, not what we're doing right now. Just the things to help them to stand up on their feet, to build the new businesses, to, do what's right, not just throwing money on them.
Exactly.
All right, we're going to have to cut Obama.
Don't you dare call me.
We're going to have to cut.
This is a guy that would rather be called Osama than Obama.
Yeah, that's how bad that is.
We're going to have to cut Obama for sure.
But don't call me Obama.
We have to cut. I'll never forget when Ted Kennedy called the president Osama. Remember, Osama bin Laden.
Schieffer did it also.
Those Muslim names.
Good talking to you guys. Thank you so much. God
great
bless
job.
You.
We're good to see you again.
We're going to stay in touch with you maybe once a week to get an update.
Prayer, please.
Okay.
Keep Egypt in your prayer.
All right. Wait. Before you go, how can the folks get in touch with you? One more time.
It is. You go online, thestraightway.org.
Thestraightway.org.
Hold on.
Thanks so much. God bless.
Thanks, Osama.
I'm putting
See ya.
there he goes.
Oh, there he goes.
Bye-bye, Osama. There you go.
That's a genuine smile there. That's not
Good
even
guy,
just a
Usama
picture.
Dakdok.
Yeah.
Okay. No, he's a great guy. He's a wonderful guy, actually.
Okay. All right. I wanted to have a little time here
I'll
for
tell
us
you what,
to discuss this
what
stuff.
blows me away, his knowledge of the Quran is, he memorizes it. He has the whole thing memorized. And he goes, these books that you read, I go, but these translations that we get out of these books are really horrible. And he goes, but those are incorrect translations. And I go, oh, is there supposed to be a bit? Yes, the ones that are correctly translated are much worse.
Right.
He goes, you guys read the soft pedal down version of the Quran and of the words, as you don't understand what they truly mean. And so, I mean,
And to give everybody a little bit of a background, Usama Dakdok, I think we first met him with, was it before Rivka? I think
It was
before.
way before.
yes.
Before Rivka,
Yeah.
and then he got involved with Rivka Barry,
Yeah.
Right.
a Muslim woman or young
Yeah.
girl.
Well, that was a couple of years later because first we met him at the first Muslim day in Tallahassee.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, way back then.
Another one.
Once
that,
again,
Ahmed
thank you,
Badir.
Ahmed
Thank you,
Badir,
thank you,
for bringing us
Ahmed
all
Badir.
together.
All right, well, here's the situation, folks. At 45 minutes past 5 o'clock, July 8, 2013. This is a special edition of our show dealing with the crisis in Egypt imploding. And if the Sharia-compliant Muslim leaders are accurate, Egypt will soon be exploding because they have promised, Muslim Brotherhood leadership, have promised that unless, and here's where this affects you very personally, everyone, the bad guys in Egypt.
Who's the good guys?
Yeah,
The bad guys in Egypt, the bad Muslim Brotherhood guys, have promised that if Morsi, their democratically elected president a year ago, if he's not reinstated, they're going to launch a Taliban, Al-Qaeda-like insurgency and start blowing up Egypt. So, and you got to take these people very seriously. And if this administration stands behind the Muslim Brotherhood, which Obama has done consistently
Yeah.
with Muslim Brotherhood infiltrators in the White House, then they're not going to listen to John McCain, who recently has been calling for cutting funding to the Brotherhood. I mean, this whole thing is getting crazy. But here's something
all upside down.
before we open it up. I wanted to share this with you.
Did you want to cue up the John McCain clip?
Yeah, we can get that ready. But I wanted to share this with everybody because it is summertime, and the economy is not the best in the United States. So those who are intending on going on vacation are looking for deals. I have a deal for you.
Uh-oh.
This is with EgyptVacation.com.
Oh, good.
EgyptVacation.com. Right now and for now and in the immediate near future, 40% off on all Egypt tours. 40%.
Really?
off. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Gaze upon the great pyramids, walk in the footsteps of pharaohs, and inspect
Really?
ancient artifacts on one of our expertly planned tours. Since 1984, Vacations to Go has helped more than 2 million people see the world, and will confirm your trip to Egypt
Really?
for the lowest possible price. 40%.
Sorry, Ronnie. Yes, Mr. Wexler, we're not going to be going.
40% off right now. And it goes on. Our professional tour director of Egyptologists travels with you throughout your journey, sharing his in-depth knowledge. This is just one. I mean, you can go and Egypt vacation packages, cheap. Egypt vacation packages, cheap,
Cheap.
cheap, cheap, cheap. Now, I did, just for kicks, I went to the United States Department of State, to their travel division,
Yeah.
and said, are there any suggestions on...
Any warnings?
well, here's
travel
suggestions.
advisories.
This is the
Look up, Tom.
Is that Chicago or Cairo?
Yes, that's Chicago or Cairo.
this is Cairo Live right now.
That's Cairo Live? Okay.
Yeah, it's Cairo Live. We just bring you the travels, the sights, and the sounds of Cairo, Egypt.
Oh, there it is, right there. Well, and let me share with you what the United States government is saying right now. You have to have a work permit if you want to stay there, and you may need a visa.
You might need a
And
machine gun.
Then they have a little section under threats to safety and security.
Right.
And then they'll list if there's any, if you go
Right.
to Israel, it's, nothing. If you go threats to safety, this is the State Department under travel under Egypt.
Hillary Clinton state, or this is John Kerry state.
What a loser
our
that guy is.
best regards to Teresa Hines Carey, recovering.
Yes, yeah, she's in critical condition, so our prayers, even though we don't like our politics, we wish her the best for sure. Political protest, this is under threats to safety and security in Egypt. Political protests and demonstrations have turned violent numerous times in the past year. These demonstrations have included blockades of major streets, burning debris, and the establishment of unofficial checkpoints. The establishment of unofficial checkpoints. Participants have thrown rocks and Molotov cocktails, and security forces have routinely used tear gas and other crowd control measures against demonstrators. In January 2013, clashes between protesters and police in Cairo and Said and Suez and Alexandria and other cities left over 50 dead and hundreds injured. Let's go back here. 40% off on your
No
Egypt
mention
vacation.
of gang
Let's
rapes
go back
and keep
over
yourself
here.
covered
What's
from
the
head
gang
to
rape? Yes.
toe.
There
Yeah.
have been instances of instability and public disorder in other areas of Egypt,
And
most notably
littering.
in the Nile Valley between Cairo and Luxor. Where are the pyramids?
As you're showing pipe bombs on the
Luxor.
screen.
Oh, the pyramids are in Luxor.
Yeah, where they're killing people every day.
These governorates, along with the adjacent governorates of Mira and Quina, have been areas of extremist activity in the past. Unbelievable.
Extremists? You mean there's Tea Party supporters
Supporters
in
of the Tea
Luxor?
Sporting events in Egypt, especially soccer matches, can cause heavy traffic disruptions and violent demonstrations. It goes on and on and on. It doesn't stop. The Egyptian government screens travelers before allowing them through. State Department advises U.S. citizens not to travel to Gaza. Oh, how nice. Restricted areas, the Sinai. It's just insane. Who the heck is going to go there, even at 40% off? Not going to happen.
90% off. Anyone going?
No, I wouldn't go for. Could you pay me?
Pay me.
Could you pay me to go there?
No.
No.
There-
Absolutely not.
There's nothing you can do to get me to go to Egypt right now. Even though I've never seen the pyramids, I really love to see the pyramids. You're not going to get me within 5 miles of a pyramid right now.
Well, we have a
But
double.
wouldn't you love to
We
go,
have a
like
double
as journalists, as a camera crew, to record what's happening? If there's
Yeah,
No.
a
from a
way
blimp.
to do, just
No, from a
from that
blimp.
perspective, it would be interesting.
No, that's
to
actually
go.
too low flying.
Well, the problem with us
Well, even-
is
Even CBS. Like, look, the last time the rape of the reporter there.
Right.
What was her
Laura-
name?
Laura-
Rogan.
No, Laura.
No, no.
Laura Logan. It started with
Laura,
a.
Laura Logan. Laura
Yeah.
Logan.
Okay, I was close.
That was it.
Yeah, Laura Logan, and these are with security staff and everything. I'm not going
Right.
to go over there with no security.
Well, we have a
staff
double
or-
whammy because we're Americans, obviously, but then we have this little
Speak
show
for yourself.
that would not be. I don't think we have a lot of fans in Cairo for
No.
our show, though we do have viewers that are in Egypt. Well, let's draw some applications. It's 52 minutes after. We got about 7 or 8 minutes. I want to draw some applications, in particular regarding John McCain, and Usama Dakdok mentioned that.
Exactly,
And his now saying we've got to stop aid. The Muslim Brotherhood is bad. All of this
Right.
stuff. Yeah, what did he do a year ago?
Well, first of all, let's just establish that elections do not make for a democracy. Let's just get rid of that myth.
That's a
right
tough
away.
One
okay?
vote, one man, one time.
Hitler and Stalin were also elected. Elections do not make for a democracy. So let's get rid of that concept right there. And I think that's why misguided Republicans like John McCain and Lindsey Graham see something like that and say, oh, well, this is the popular will of the people, and the Muslim Brotherhood is really just political now, and they're not really into the jihad, so let's give them a shot at things.
this was last year.
This was last year, and what
Right.
did they do? Attack Michelle Bachmann, okay, who exposed the Muslim Brotherhood in
have
the
the-
United States.
Damon, you have that picture? Put this picture up. Watch this.
Why did they do that? Why?
Well-
Because they believed that the Muslim Brotherhood had become a political party and not a violent jihad.
Not what they
party.
are. They thought the
not
leopard
what they
changed
actually
its stripes.
are.
Right.
So what do? Kill their own here in the United States.
Exactly.
Where's the picture of the 6 infiltrators? Somebody have that? If we can put that up. At 53 minutes after 5 on July
It's
8th,
just a
WNN
fantasy.
1470, TrentoVision.tv. We're talking about Egypt and the failed policies that this administration and many Republicans have followed as it relates to Egypt. Right there, that was put out by Steve Emerson. You see a graphic on your screen, folks. There are 6 Muslim Brotherhood infiltrators How could you be an infiltrator?
And that's a minimum.
if you've been invited
If you've been
in to work
invited.
there.
Actually,
Yeah.
I see a couple missing there already. From the. I mean, what's he trying to say? That these are the only ones, or
No,
these,
no.
what?
These are some top guys, and I think on our Wednesday show we're going to do an update on Egypt and Israel on Wednesday.
Okay.
We'll go into detail who these 6 people are.
Yeah.
But a year ago, when Michelle Bachmann said there's infiltrators in the White House, Muslim
Right.
Brotherhood, McCain went nuts.
Yeah.
We'll show that video on Wednesday. McCain, calling Michelle Bachmann on the carpet, basically defending Umar Abedin.
Yeah.
All this stuff, folks, is
Yeah.
critically important, and we're going to tie all these loose ends up.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? With a couple of minutes we have left, what do you think is going to happen in Egypt? Let's kind of be prophetic here.
I actually.
Are you Abdullah?
No irony there.
Yes, I will tell this will not erupt into as bad as Syria or Iraq is right
Right.
now, because you do not have the Sunni-Shia split in Egypt like you do. I believe that the Muslim Brotherhood will be greatly outnumbered by the rest of the people, whether they be not as Islamic or Coptic or straight secular. You will not see the massive civilian on civilian violence like you're saying, because you lack the Shia sect. There will be some violence, and I think the military will crush it.
Okay.
Okay.
Mark?
I actually think that the military will keep control over it as long as we keep funding them, and they will keep an autonomous control over them. But there's still going to be a lot of terrorism, and the military will try to go down there and crush the Muslim Brotherhood with an iron fist, chop, killing them.
Right.
And the Muslim Brotherhood will react, and there will be a lot of widespread terrorism type of plays that come out of Egypt. I think that's the most likely scenario, but
CJ?
I see Barack Obama and the White House and this administration doubling down on their support for the Muslim
Yeah,
Brotherhood
I agree
and
with
pretty
you
much
there.
preventing any organized,
Nadir did.
controlling government from taking control of what's happening with the civilian population, because if they won't fund the military, but they won't give humanitarian aid, and they're going to insist that anybody who's in control has to include the Muslim Brotherhood in their
They're probably
political
fearful now,
operations.
too, of retribution by the Brotherhood. Look, if the administration is infiltrated with brothers,
Yeah.
what do you think? Bloomberg this week acknowledges on your screens right now that Obama's called for the Muslim Brotherhood role in Egypt. So I think you're right. The administration is going to double down on the Brotherhood, and I think they're afraid not to, because I'm sure the advisors are saying, look, if we piss off the brothers now,
Yeah.
they can cause some trouble here in the United States,
Right.
and we don't need
But
that.
that
or
just
with
leaves the
Israel.
door open for Russia and Turkey to have a bigger influence on
Well,
what's
we're gonna-
happening
Turkey's
in
got its own
Egypt.
problems.
We're going to talk about that
Which
on
they'll look to
Wednesday.
export.
Tomorrow we have Philippe Carcente. He will be our special guest, and he is Skyping in from Paris, live from Paris. He was involved in an unbelievable case that has ramifications and implications worldwide. We're going to do
13
that tomorrow.
years.
Very interesting show. But we want you to know, folks, that this coming Thursday, which is the 11th, myself, Claire Lopez, one of the authors of Sharia, The Threat to America, our United West team will be in Savannah, Georgia. There it is right there. America at a Critical Crossroads. We'll be speaking on America at a Critical Crossroads, dealing with some of these issues in Savannah, Georgia. If you have any friends or relatives or neighbors, send me a note, tom@TrentoVision.tv. We'll send you all the information. Tomorrow we hope to have the organizer, Mary W. on to tell you a little more about that, and maybe even Claire Lopez. That's this coming Thursday, July 11th, Savannah, Georgia, and great little town, been there many times. We'll see you then. That's it, folks. I think we have to say goodbye. Tomorrow,
Bye.
Philippe Carcente, tune in.
Bye.
Allah
Thank you.
Akbar.
Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillah.